Okay, so we're going to get a bit more into developing the layout of this project. We've just been covering some stuff on railings and stairs and ramps, and we can revisit this again a bit later. We're just going through the whole process of developing a design, and then we'll refine. So here we have our ground floor, and now I want to get into maybe the layout of some of these spaces here. Now there's a lot going on in this view. Maybe I want to clean it up a little bit. I could duplicate that view. So this one, I'm going to duplicate the view, and I'm not going to take the detailing across. I want this one here to be renamed as FFE, meaning fittings, furniture, equipment, layout, whatever we want to call it. And I'm going to get a few things here just to tidy up items. So what I want to do is start doing some furniture layout just to sort of see how they sit in the space. When you're designing, you can get an idea whether you've got much space or not much space. This one I'm going to be a bit slack and hide that category in that view. I'll keep my grid line in there for reference, and now I've got a clean floor plan to start sort of developing the design with. I'll get rid of that little nub there at the moment. So in this tutorial, there's a bit of leftover ramp, everything's going to be out of the box. We're going to avoid just going into other stuff at the moment, just going to keep it simple. Otherwise you can get a bit confused. What I want to do here is start loading in some components. So there's like a placer component, and a component is like a bit of a family that's embedded in the project. If you ever need to find any of these, they're usually loaded down here under families. So I'm going to be doing things like adding furniture to rooms, and you can see there's only this loaded in here. I'll start to sort of indicate where the kitchen's going to go and maybe a bathroom layout. So those will be the three things that I'll try and do in the last part of these tutorials, just to sort of take us away from maybe stairs and ramps and rails, which we can configure later. So there's just a desk located here. You can drag and drop this in, and there it is placed in the model. It's a pretty basic desk, and when we go to our views here, just close out some of the stuff I've got. When we go to our 3D view here, and then go and crop it, you can see that desk placed in the, what could be the study area. Again, you can hit the things like the space bar just to rotate it around. So that's a desk, pretty hideous. So I want to load in a bit more furniture here from the database that is shipped with Revit when you do the installation. So we're going to go to Insert, numerous things you can bring into the project. We're just going to go and load a family, and by default it should point to where all the data is loaded for you. Now I've got a lot more information here, but you should have similar sort of stuff, and then you can actually add more to it as you go. So I'm going to start with the furniture, and I think by default you'll have a lot of this furniture sort of showing up here. So some of it will be available, some of it won't. I'm going to use my furniture. Some of it that comes with the platform will have a suffix at the end, depending on the country you're living in. But I'm just going to use some of the stuff that I've got. So just use what you've got for now. In fact, I'll start off with beds. Here's some of the default things. So large and small beds, we'll go and get a large one and we'll load it in. And this will now load it in under the furniture category. We have a double, a king, and a queen. I'll bring in the king, and I'll go and locate it in here. And in this room, I want this bed to sort of be facing outwards. So I'm going to say, right, well, here's a king bed. The client has a king bed, and we're going to sort of place it around about here, because we've still got to fit in a space for a ensuite bathroom and a walk-in closet. So, you know, we can start to sort of say, well, in the back here, we're going to need a certain amount of space for these other amenities. Back of house, I'm going to need maybe 2-4 to get all the stuff in, and then that bed, I'm going to move it to here, and just want to move it, don't want to constrain it. I'm going to move that bed from the center of that bed to the center point of that wall. So there it is, centered on the room. This is what I think I might need for the walk-in wardrobe and the bathroom. A lot of space on either side of it. I could go and check some dimensions. So I know, you know, the bed should be about 2 meters. That's looking about right. And then the distance between that bed and that window is about 1 meter, which is kind of okay. You probably don't want to go any lower than that. I'd probably have that maybe at 1200, just so it doesn't feel too tight. So you can see by adding the furniture at this stage, just these out-of-the-box placeholders that can start to inform maybe the spatial arrangements in here. Again, you can go and create similar and place one in this other room. So maybe this bed might want to face a certain way. I can go and just hit the space bar to rotate it around. And I can also say, well, this room's not going to get a king bed, they'll get a queen, and that will now shrink to a queen, or it could even shrink further to be just a double. So once it's loaded in, it will have different types within it, and then you can sort of manipulate it as need be to have it best fit the space. So those are some beds, and again, I'll just copy that one across, because this is going to be a bedroom study. You can see maybe in this space, this is very generous in terms of that office space. So when I get to the bathroom, I might reclaim some of the space in here to better improve the size of the bathroom. Now we're going to repeat this again and go to load family, and I'm gone out of beds, and I want to go into another component, which is plumbing, and you should have some items here. Typically it should be under architectural. Hopefully there'll be some fixtures in here. So water closets, sinks, bathtubs. For this one, maybe we do want a hot tub time machine here. I'm going to have a freestanding one here. Load that in. It's doing an upgrade. Now it's not appearing here. It will go and file it under its category. So that's where you'll find it. And here we have our bathtub sitting in that space. It's not too bad. Try and put it by the window. It is a smaller one, 1525. You know, it's okay. Oh, and there's a little issue, a wall coming through here. Just clean that up. And here it is sitting in the space. Now we can manipulate stuff as we go and specify the baths. You know, maybe the bath will be a lot bigger. I'm going to have it freestanding. I'm not a big fan of those baths that are all enclosed. And then some other things. I want to get a shower, a water closet, WC, and some wash basins in here. I'm going to claim a little bit of space from here, so I'm going to just trim this up. This different way. I'm going to bring this out, and I'm going to get a little bit more space here. I'm going to grab that, create similar, and just draw a line, and then just trim. Oh yeah, that's because I did some stuff with that wall. Okay, and that's about it. So I'm getting a little bit more space here, another 900 mil, and that's probably a bit more of a generous bathroom, and that bedroom is still very generous, but again, it could be a study, a workshop, a guest bedroom. You could again divide it up even more if you want to. Okay, so let's do the bathroom layout. Other things I want to add is a WC and a shower and a wash hand basin. What we've also got here, this is another little trick, you've got the properties, and it will show where these files are located. I could copy that file path location, bring up an Explorer, do this to bring it up. Here we have that information. So again, you could drag and drop this information in here. So if I want a water closet and I want to just bring in domestic, I can just drag and drop that in. So that's now come in, and I can do it that way. So I might do it here because the water closet WC might be best to plumb to that outside wall. If you really want to, you could enclose it. So at least when you come in, you're going to see the bath, and then we've got the WC here as well, but it's going to the outside wall for plumbing. Again, you could do a cavity wall here and tidy everything up. And then the last things here is loading that family. So I'll just use that same technique that I had here with sinks, and these are vanity round. Let's bring in the square ones. This one is going to want it to be, oh, it's not having to host, yeah. And I will just say that we'll have maybe two on this wall. So it's actually quite a generous bathroom, but we'll need to have storage in here. We'll need to work out where we're going to have our shower. I'm suspecting I might need to have a shower in here, but it's just still early days. So this kind of gives you an indication of how to start planning that space. And then finally, other items like kitchens. So we have here architectural, and we're into plumbing with fixtures, and I think there's some stuff here for sinks. We'll go back and we'll look at Casework. So Casework is available here, and there's some joinery available. So there'll be wall cabinets, base cabinets. So I think you'll be able to have some simple base cabinets here. I'll just bring in a few two-door base cabinets. And here it is in my model. So I'm just going to lay out the kitchen with these standard sort of units. Hopefully everything will be at the right width and height. You can see this one's an 860 by 900. Maybe I want these to be 1200. I can just flex them here. And my kitchen's going to be on a grid of 1200s. So I'm just going to do something like that. I'm going to just allow this. Again, just use the mirror lines to bring it across, and again, just copy this one across 1200 and have that symmetrical. So that might form the basis of my kitchen, and then here I could again copy these and say, well, I know they're going to be 600 deep, and then I want another 1200 for the space between them, so the total will be 1800. And that could be the layout of my kitchen just to get started with. So you're starting to see here we've got some spaces, distances, and these are just sort of original things that we can use for markers. You can print this out, then sketch over it, re-sketch over it, but you've got some things to sort of give you some size, some scale, and you can gradually go and fit out your interiors from there and then develop it as needed.